Do you know nuisance calls to police emergency number endanger public safety and security? This has been a perennial problem world over. In Singapore, the police receive about 1 million emergency calls a year. From children making silent or giggling calls, to adults making funny requests like asking for taxi service, make up about 57% of the emergency calls. Let me illustrate how nuisance calls endanger public safety and security. Suppose there is only one call taker available, and two people dial 999 at the same time. One is a nuisance caller, and the other is a genuine caller. The genuine caller wants to report a crime that is happening right now, or he wants to report an accident that requires immediate medical attention. But he is not able to do so, because the operator is already engaged with the nuisance caller. The nuisance callers also waste a lot of taxpayers' money. Let's do a simple calculation. Let's fill in the figures. We know that the police receive about 3,000 calls in a 24-hour period. Let's assume that it takes about 150 seconds on average to complete a call. The police have pledged to answer all incoming calls within 10 seconds. 90% of the time. The result shows that the police need about 12 to 13 call takers to meet their KPI. Since only 43% of the calls are genuine, let's input 1,290 calls, instead. Now, the police needs only about 7 to 8 call takers. Therefore, the police can save about 5 headcounts per team, or 20 staff in all 4 teams of call takers. The key question is how to prevent or avoid the nuisance calls. There are laws that allow the police to take the nuisance callers to court. But not all of them are dealt with, because of resource constraints. These precious resources are better utilized to tackle more serious crimes and cases. So how then to reduce the nuisance calls? 1. Filter the calls at the telco level. The telco could filter out the nuisance calls before transferring the genuine calls to the police. The telco then bill the nuisance callers a higher rate to discourage further nuisance calls. 2. Police could initiate a fine for nuisance calls received. The police will notify the telco about the nuisance call, and a fine is added to the phone subscriber's monthly bill. 3. Use analytics to preempt nuisance calls. The incoming caller ID can be matched with the nuisance call database in the system. If it is suspected to be a nuisance call, it will be sent back in the queue, and allow other likely genuine calls to go to the front. Telephony, denial of service attack. This looming threat is bigger than the nuisance calls. We will talk about it in another video. Thank you for your time.